Hey, smart people! You are about to learn my guaranteed way to get your work done. You're going to discover why you need more than goals if you're going to be successful at anything. This is the surefire way to make yourself study or do your work or anything else when you really don't feel like doing it. Yes, I know, all the gurus out there are telling you that setting goals is the answer. Well, it's part of the answer, but it's certainly not the whole thing. There's a lot more to it than that. But don't worry, I'll keep this simple and easy to understand and carry out. In fact, if you just use this one big idea that I'm going to give you in a couple of minutes, I can virtually guarantee that you'll get your work done. It doesn't matter whether it's studying or writing a big report, accomplishing some big task for work, getting more exercise, losing weight. It doesn't matter. I'm going to give you the one big thing you need that you're probably not doing now, but it's an easy thing that will help you accomplish hard things. More about that in a moment. By the way, if you like what I'm doing on this channel, help me spread the word on your social media. If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe and hit that little bell icon to be notified whenever I release a new video. Okay, so now let me explain why goals by themselves are not enough. Sure, you've got to start with them. No goals equals no results. However, many people confuse goals with wishes or idealistic fantasies. That's not even remotely close to the truth. Rather than this being a bunch of philosophy, let's make this totally practical and real-world based. Let's think of this topic in terms of sports. All sports have a goal. Doesn't matter whether it's golf or archery or car racing, running a marathon. But for our visualization, let's think of either American football or worldwide football. The goals are obvious. Visualizing how goals are used in sports will help you better understand how to use them in your daily life. There's a famous acronym to help you remember how to create a goal. SMART goals. SMART stands for specific. You must be able to clearly define it. The M is for measurable. You've got to be able to gauge your progress and know when you've achieved it. The A stands for achievable. It's got to be attainable by you. Do you have the skills or the knowledge? R stands for realistic, within your reach and relevant to your purpose, not some far-off fantasy. And the T for timely. There's got to be a deadline. There needs to be some urgency. Now, I'll do a more detailed video on setting goals in the future. But for now, let's focus on how to get control over yourself and force yourself to do the work when it needs to be done. Look, merely having a goal is not the same as scoring a goal. Just because you know where the goal line is doesn't mean you're going to do it. I want you to understand what's worked for you in the past that got you results. What is that one big thing? Now let's stay with our sports analogy just for another moment. Before you achieve a goal, there's a lot of preparation that's needed. You need to acquire the necessary skills, you need to know the game, the rules, and so on. On top of that, you've got to overcome some pretty significant obstacles. The other team isn't going to just let you stroll over to the goal and allow you to score. You've got to deal with a lot of resistance, and not just from the opposing players either. In fact, just making the team is hard. Then, staying on the team is hard. You've got to attend practices, run wind sprints, do heavy exercises. It can be exhausting and frustrating. So tell me this. With all those obstacles in the way of you achieving a goal, what is the single biggest reason you persist and push through it? Tell me, what keeps you going? It's possible to answer that in one word. What is it? What's making you stick it out? What is the force that's causing you to persist? It's something you deal with all the time, in school, at work, with your family, with your teammates. It is accountability. That's the one big thing I promised to tell you about. Accountability is found throughout that entire process. You show up to try out for the team at a specific time and place. You continue to show up for practice even when you're hurting, you're in a bad mood, you had a tough day, you had a problem at home or with a romantic relationship. You come on game day and play your heart out on the field. That's all because of accountability. You're accountable to your coach, your teammates, the fans, and yes, even to yourself. You need to find ways to do it for your schoolwork or anything else you're struggling with. Form a study group. Meet at specific times. Declare your goals. Have others monitor your progress. Now, if that doesn't work for you, assign one person to become accountable to. Maybe your advisor, maybe an upperclassman, somebody. You must become accountable to others. It's what will force you into action even when you're distracted or aren't in the mood. Let me give you one example from my own life in producing these YouTube videos. You know, back when I first got started, I would produce videos whenever I felt like it. I didn't have any sort of a schedule. I was haphazard. But then I moved into my new home and I created this dedicated space to shoot videos. Then I changed the banner on my channel and publicly declared new videos weekly. Then, even when I knew I was going to have distractions, I was going to have some minor surgery on my face, and I didn't want to be on camera with bandages and stitches, so I filmed episodes in advance and then scrambled to edit them on time in order to keep my word of publishing a new video each week. I made myself accountable to you. That's what you need to do. Declare your specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, timely goal to people you select. You'll force yourself into action as the deadline you committed to gets closer and closer. Your work will get done, and it will get done on time. You will achieve success. Be sure to check out my other videos that'll help you get motivated to being able to get your work done. Ultimately, everything I teach does take a bit of work and effort to achieve your dreams. Always remember that the fastest way to get to the top is to get off your bottom.